This may be good news for investors, but bad news for potential owners because Tesla appears to have run into some issues with mass producing the Model S and X. It's partly likely because of supply chains. It could partly be related to chip shortages and a lot of the new design tactics they're approaching with the inside of the Model S and X. But the estimated delivery dates on the website at least have been pushed back a whole lot, and this does only count for new orders. So Tesla did say at the last earnings call they expect the first Model S refresh deliveries to be very, very soon. Elon mentioned sometime in May, not very more specific than that, but on the website now, the long-range Model S estimated deliveries is between August and September, which it's very rare to see estimated deliveries go that far in advance for a, confirmed vehicle, one that's already driving around that has existed for a while. Most of the time, when we see estimated deliveries pushed out by the month, it's typically like a brand new model or it's like a prototype unreleased vehicle, something like a Roadster, a Semi, or a Cybertruck is when they start giving you timelines of like, oh yeah, this year, this month. More like actively produced vehicles are the ones that typically get the timeline of, 5 to 6 weeks, or sometimes 10 to 11 weeks is as far as I've seen. But the Plaid Model S orders are actually still listed as between June and July, which I found somewhat interesting. So there's two different ways this could be going. For one, Tesla might be prioritizing Plaid orders because, for one, they probably have very, very thick profit margins. Those are going to be tri-motor vehicles that are really fast, but also $120,000 for that model, and it's most likely using the same batteries as before. So I'm guessing they're very profitable to build. Elon mentioned that the refreshed Model S and X still actually cost less than the old models. I don't exactly know how that's possible. I guess there's certain manufacturing efficiencies they've benefited, but I'm wondering if that counts for the Plaid variants compared to the profitability of the performance variants of before. So Tesla could be prioritizing Plaid, or there might just be a lot more orders for the long-range Model S. I mean, that's pretty much the only vehicle on the market right now that's still driving around that technically had an EPA range of over 400 miles. Tesla delivered on that. Everybody else in the industry is just kind of speculating or hoping to eventually get to that point, but they haven't officially delivered vehicles that do it yet. And Plaid Plus Model S deliveries have still not changed. It still says mid-2022, which is basically over a year away, which makes me sad, but I want the 4680s to go into more practical vehicles like the Model Y or the Cybertruck. So I'm kind of okay with Plaid Plus not being prioritized. As long as we get those semis out by the end of the year, I'm good. But one of the more crazy timelines that I personally found pretty surprising is the new estimated delivery dates for the Model X refresh on the website. Now, at the end of April, they're listing October or November. That's right. Essentially, in the middle of Q2, Tesla is saying if you order a Model X today, you're not going to get it until Q4. I have not seen this type of delivery date pushback in many, many years, especially for the Model S and X, because there haven't really been that many changes. But now that we're actually seeing so many people order them, and Tesla has said that they do see an insane amount of demand for them, they're going to have to go back to a 2-shift system, and their goal is to reach around 2,000 vehicles a week by around Q3 or Q4. So these are high-priced Teslas, and I don't think they're necessarily game changers, just because we've known for a long time that you can make expensive, capable electric vehicles with good range. Now the more recent challenge has been, can you make affordable EVs with good range and good features? And that's where I think a lot of the game-changing action is coming in. But at the same time, I do think Tesla is probably going to be making a crap ton of money off of this Model S and X refresh. It's probably going to be up against a lot of luxury competition, knowing how many great interior features these updates have between the updated MCU, the bigger displays, the rear display, the active noise cancellation, the ventilated seats, and of course the Model X is, the Swiss Army knife of Teslas. In yesterday's video, I talked about how the Model Y has like the perfect amount of everything. One of those things the Model Y has is that good value, and the Model X gets to throw that out and decide we're going to be practical, but we're also going to have all of the great interior features and the great range. So if you don't care about price, yeah, Model X is kind of impossible to beat. You've got the Falcon Wing doors, you've got the auto-presenting doors, you have this amazing windshield on the front that results in a great view for the driver and people in the front row. You can have a 6 or 7-seater option that actual adults can fit in pretty comfortably, and now you've got a 17-inch landscape display. It's certainly an amazing vehicle, and I could understand why people are willing to drop $90,000 to $120,000 on it, because it's kind of the perfect SUV for a lot of people in that type of budget. But there have been a few sightings of the refreshed Model X around the Fremont factory, but it sounds like if you haven't gotten your order in yet, you're probably going to be waiting for a while. And so far, people who have refreshed the Model X, like my good friend Chris from Dirty Tesla, we had him on the EV podcast recently. You can check out our conversation there. But he ordered one, and it's still telling him to expect a delivery at some time in the summer. So there's a good chance if you got your order in before, you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. But it just gives you guys some perspectives on how back-ordered Tesla is on these vehicles and how much insane demand there is for them, which I think is great considering how many parts and how many batteries they get to use from their pre-existing supply chains and still have very, very healthy profit margins on these vehicles. So, of course, as always, I cannot wait to try them out myself as soon as there is a refreshed Model S or X available at my local Tesla showroom or whatever. I'm definitely going to check it out and do a test drive because I do think these are like dream vehicle territory and they're very impressive, and I'm glad to know that they'll be coming out this year. Hopefully. I'm hoping they don't back order so far into 2022, but I'm very glad Tesla refreshed them. I'm glad they catered to a lot of people's requests with what type of vehicles the S and X should be. Happy to see them get some love, and I'm just so sad that they couldn't get them out on time or on schedule, and hopefully first deliveries are not too far away. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.